Hello everyone and welcome to an update video for Friday the 13th of June. So if you're into all that superstitious stuff, then you know, this is the day for you. I try and avoid doing these update videos, I really do. I try and keep you guys updated as much as I can during the actual content. But things have got a little bit out of control recently in terms of various projects and the confusion involved, and I've had numerous requests for an update video, just me sitting here in front of the camera explaining to you guys what the hell is going on. So we're gonna split it up into three main categories. First one's gonna be all about the PowerPC promise. Second one's gonna be all about the whole my computer situation, G5, Hackintosh, Mac Pro, what the hell's going on. And the third one is going to be my life generally, what's changed and everything, because, you know, I've been sort of dropping hints that things are drastically changing. So without further ado, let's get into the update video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the PowerPC promise. Now the PowerPC promise was indeed carried out throughout the month of May. Now, I strived to edit every single video on the G4, and believe me, that was a much harder task than I thought it was going to be. So the PowerPC promise is all done, all the footage exists, and loads of the editing exists. But what I'm actually trying to do is complete all of the editing on the G4. It's all started, so I'm actually switching, I'm back using my Mac Pro now, and all these videos that I'm making for you guys, these random videos, they're all made on the Mac Pro. But the PowerPC promise videos are indeed being made on the G4, so I'm switching between the two systems, and it's quite funny actually, because I've suffered from quite a few problems. Now, I'm gonna try and keep this update video short and leave most of the talking for the actual content. But just to cut a long story short, you guys know that this camera is AVC HD. So that presents itself a problem with PowerPC, but you can convert it. But the annoying thing is, this camera only records in 1080p AVC HD, and people are like, oh, go and change the settings. It's like, no, that's the only setting that it has. It has different quality variations within that resolution and that format, but no, it's AVC HD and it's 1080p. So those two things combined on the G4, absolutely bonkers. The poor thing was absolutely crawling. And the funny thing is, when it comes to exporting and whatnot, it literally takes hours upon hours upon hours and hours, so overnight or over a weekend or something. And the amount of stuff I've got crammed into that G4, it's been dropping out, it's just been shutting down. The power supply can't cope with it, it's been getting too hot and shutting down. So what I've actually done is given the G4 a dedicated 13 amp socket instead of running it on an extension lead with a load of other devices, which has helped a lot. And if I'm exporting a video, I have actually used a normal fan, a household fan, to just blow air over the G4, and that does kind of work as well. So it's been a crazy process, and a lot of people have been nagging for the videos. I do completely understand that I promised it in May, and people are saying that I broke my promise. Well, technically I didn't, because it's made, it's done. I carried out the PowerPC promise, and I tweeted about it and whatnot, and you know, it happened. The videos just aren't up yet because they're still being made, so I kind of had a choice. I was like, okay, shall I re-import all the footage on my Mac Pro, make them on my Mac Pro and then cheat? It's like, no, there's no point in doing that, because I was the one that designed this challenge, I made my own rules, I set it all up, and you know, it was a very cool experience. You know, don't get me wrong, it was hard, but yeah, this video isn't about the PowerPC promise. So just to let you guys know, the videos do exist, and I could have either got those videos out, you know, a week early or something. So, you know, say those videos came out today, for example, PowerPC promised week 1, but I wouldn't have made any of these, you know, 5 or 6 videos that I've made since then. So I kind of thought it's better to keep the content ticking over, and you know, something is better than nothing. So the PowerPC stuff is all on the way, and also I'm making it, you know, big production. It is a big production, you know, I've got voiceover, I've got B-roll footage, images, it's like, it's a big editing project, and you know, I wanted to put the G4 through its paces in terms of that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a big deal, but it's pretty cool. So that's the PowerPC Promise. It's on its way. Enjoy it when you see it. I really hope you do. So moving on to the next topic, and that is my Hackintosh. Now, a lot of people got confused when I bought the G5 for the studio. They were like, okay, does that mean the Hackintosh project has been cancelled? No, not at all. Two things happened that delayed the Hackintosh. Well, not delayed it, because I didn't even know when I was going to build it, but two things happened that stopped me from going, oh, right, yeah, let's do a Hackintosh. Number one was money. I want to build a Hackintosh that's worthwhile building, because my Mac Pro performs, even though it's 2008 and it's 2014 now, my Mac Pro performs like a tank. It does everything for me. And I thought, what's the point in building a Hackintosh that isn't as good as my Mac Pro? So I need to spend, you know, hundreds of pounds to make this Hackintosh much, much better, to make it a worthwhile upgrade over my Mac Pro, because to tell you the truth, I am really happy with my Mac Pro. So, money. I don't have it. I actually do not have it. And you guys might be thinking, you know, loads of people are sending in donations and, you know, everything's going really well, you're making loads of videos, you're buying this, that and the other. It's like, yeah, I am. But I don't have £700. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's a big difference between spending £50 or £60 on something to make a couple of videos about, getting in some donations, maybe spending £90 on a hard drive or an upgrade component for a computer, or £30 on some RAM. There's a big difference between all of that and spending £700–800 on a new system. Now, the reason why I haven't bought the components individually as I get money in to force myself to build up the Hackintosh is because, knowing my luck, by the time I bought the last component, the next platform would be out. And that happened when I built my gaming PC. I was buying all the parts over the space of about 6 months, and then when I built it, I built it with a Phenom 2 processor. Bulldozer was only about 3 weeks away. So it was kind of disappointing, and I didn't want that to happen again. So I was kind of trying to save up a chunk of money and do it. But you guys will be pleased to know that I am raising money. I'm doing my best to raise money. I'm selling a load of stuff on eBay. I just put my first item on a minute ago, actually, a boxed Dreamcast, which is sitting right next to me here. And more items will roll onto my eBay as the days go by and the weeks go by. So I'm trying to gather up some money, selling some junk that I don't use. That was the first reason. Second reason why I didn't build a Hackintosh and put the Mac Pro in the studio and I bought a G5 really quickly was because my band needed to record the EP. We were going on tour and my band needed to record their EP. So I bought a G5 for like £40 or something really cool like that, and just stuck it up there, and you know what? It's been bulletproof. Actually, that's complete. No, the G5 itself has been a pain in the ass, as you guys have seen from the upgrade videos, you know, that trying to get Leopard on there, you know, the hard drive sucked. You know, there was problems with the RAM, there was problems with the airport, there was problems with the super drive. But once I sorted all of that, within Logic and making the tracks, it's been an absolute tank. So the G5, it's a wonderful system, and it's doing great. I don't have a severely demanding recording studio, and it's doing absolutely fine. It runs everything that I need it to. So that's even less motivation to move the Mac Pro up there, because the Mac Pro would be kind of wasted up there at the moment, you know? It's weird. Like, the Mac Pro is still fully supported, it works great. I just love it more and more as the days go by. And I've done so much to it. I've owned it for the past, like, 4 years, 3 years, something like that, and it's just bulletproof. So the Hackintosh thing is kind of on a back burner, unfortunately. I know a load of people donated parts and they will go to really good use, and if those parts become severely outdated, then I will sell them and I will buy, using that money, using all of the money that I sorted out, I'll buy the updated versions of the parts. But yeah, the Hackintosh is on the back burner because I am self-employed. You know, I've got a part-time job, but that's not really relevant. That's just enough to cover just basic stuff. I am self-employed. It's my first year out in the real world on my own. No college, no school, none of that stuff. And I'm trying my hardest to make a go of things. And you know, it's going okay, but it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a good, you know, couple of years before I can easily splash out £1,000 on something again, you know, because I mean, I could do that when I was in college because I could just save, save and save, nothing mattered, and I could go, yeah, let's buy a Mac Pro, boom. But yeah, times change and, you know, stuff changes, and I'm really pleased. I wouldn't change what I do for the world, so I'm really enjoying it. I love working for myself, it's great. You know, learning self-discipline and all that stuff has been great, because I've actually learned quite a lot even in the last couple of months, because stuff's been changing. So leaving the Hackintosh aside for a second, that's bringing me on to my third point, and that's my life changing, what's going on with me. If you've made it this far in the video, then you guys obviously are true fans, you know me, you know what I've been doing. So I think it's only right that I update you all on what's going on. You guys probably know that I've been in a band, like I was talking about my band EP. I've been in a band for about a year now. It's a well-established local band that have been going for about 3 years. I've worked with them even before I joined the band, doing sound and lighting and whatnot, and then I joined the band playing bass. The drummer left, and I'm also a drummer, as you guys know, so I began playing drums. Everything was going great, but unfortunately, just before tour, a week before tour, a little bit of stuff kicked off, you know, as it does, you know. 5 guys in a van going backward and forward to gigs a lot, you know, 3 or 4 times a weekend sometimes is, you know, it's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and we were saving up for tour, so we weren't earning any money from the band at that time. There was a lot of stress going around, and I blew my lid and I left the band, and I don't regret it at all. I think it's the right decision. Everything's coming to a close. Band-wise anyway, and I am pleased with the decision that I've made, but it has knocked me, it's made my life quite different in the space of the last month or so. So I was storing all of my lighting gear. I have my own lighting rig. I was storing it in the club that we practiced as a band, but of course that wasn't appropriate after I left the band. So I've been looking for more storage, and I've had to make more space here, and I'm storing some of it in work, and all that's going really well. And you guys have probably noticed that the videos have been slightly more consistent. That first bit of consistency that I had was just as I was thinking of doing this, kind of leaving the band malarkey, and then the big blank spot in the middle where I didn't upload anything for about 2-3 weeks, that was where I'd left the band, and I was just actually trying to get myself back on top of things, because it was a big part of my life. You know, it became... every Friday and Saturday night we were out without fail, pretty much, and then practicing every week. You know, it was a good 3 or 4 days of my week I'd spend with them, and it was quite intense, and now I don't have any of it. So what's really good about that is, even though I earned money from the band was also a money hoover. So of course, the more time you spend out playing gigs, the more drinks you have to buy, the more food you have to buy, you know, things like drum skins break, cymbals break, and you have to replace these things. And just generally something in the band would come along where we'd have to dedicate all of our gig money to paying for something, you know, like a piece of the PA system is broken, or paying for tour, or paying petrol money towards a non-paid gig or something like that. So the band was a bit of a money hoover, and I did notice my poorest time of being on YouTube since I started was definitely when I was in the band. Definitely when I was in the band. Because even when I started YouTube in 2009, I was doing a lot of little projects and stuff as my younger self that was earning me quite a bit of cash. And I was buying Power Macs and stuff and upgrading them, and it was really cool. So I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more money now, and of course my weekends are free, so I can actually use them to book gigs based on tech. So, you know, sound and lighting, as you guys know, I do all that stuff, and get money for it, get substantial money for it. And I have booked a few things since leaving the band, which is great. Get substantial money for it, and then, you know, I'll have money to play with. And of course, if I don't book gigs on the weekend, then I'll have more time to make videos. So it's a win-win situation for everyone involved, absolutely everyone. So that's great. I'm doing great. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. So just to break it down for you guys, I am doing my job in my local cinema. I do 2 nights a week minimum running the projection for a twin screen cinema that we have. All the latest films, blah blah blah. It's a lovely little job. I love films. It's great. Same building. It doubles as a theatre. I am the lighting technician at that theatre. So whenever we have a show, I'm the lighting guy, and I love it. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that's my little part-time job there. It's great. We don't get loads and loads of shows or anything. You know, it's mainly films. Third thing, YouTube. I do this now as much as I can, and I'm going to try and be much more of a YouTuber, be much more active, make it a lot better. And I'm just pumping the videos out, and you know, a lot of people complain about me, but a lot of people really enjoy it as well, so that's great, and that's clear just by the donations. Fourth thing, I do my own gigs in terms of lighting and sound, tech-wise, all over the place, and it's really cool. I do some hire out my equipment. Fifth thing, I do some video work for people sometimes, just a little bit of editing. I do general things for people in the tech world, like repairing laptop screens, doing this, that and the other. And it's kind of like I have all these little things and they're all getting bigger, and my income it will gradually get more, especially now I've left the band, and it's absolutely phenomenal, and that's basically my life, self-employed, and it's wonderful. I wouldn't change it for the world, like I've said. So that's an update as to what's going on with me at the moment. I've got a few extra little complications going on that aren't worth mentioning. Things that are related, you know, stressful things that are related to decisions that I've made in regards to leaving the band and whatnot, you know, because you've never got a clean break from that kind of thing, you know, so there's, you know, gear to be dealt with and whatnot, and it's quite intense. And, you know, I've fallen out with some people, I've made new friends, it's been an experience. So, you know, summer's coming, things are changing, and it's great. Summertime is always a fantastic time for me making videos anyway. Apart from last year, because I was in the band. Every summer before that, I've been cracking out the videos like hell, you know, 3 or 4 a week, and it's been great. But, you know, last summer it was bad because I was just gigging all the time. So I'm kind of looking forward to cutting down the gigs a bit. It's going to make one hell of a difference. But I am actually getting a dry mouth, I'm boiling hot, and I've got a headache because the window is right in front of me and it's sunny. So I'm going to stop this video, quit while I'm ahead. I've got a quick shift in work tonight, and then a quick shift tomorrow in work actually, and you know, the weekend ahead of me, make some more videos. It's going to be great. So I hope you guys really respect all the things that I've talked about in this video. It's been, you know, a bit of a milestone one, because like I say, I don't like making these update videos, but you guys deserve it, and a lot of people have requested it. So yeah, as usual, video description, all my links are down there. It's really important to connect with me. I will try and connect back with you. I do try my hardest, but you guys can imagine how many emails and Skype messages and Facebook messages and all this stuff that I get. It's just absolutely through the roof, and I can never reply to them all. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Amazing fans. I couldn't wish for a better audience. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you very, very soon.